Today's tale is not only an unsolved mystery in itself, it's also an obscure page of film history, one which has puzzled countless viewers for decades. People of a certain age might remember watching educational films in school, that is, actual films run through a projector. Those film reels often began with what's known as Academy Leader, a strip of film which includes a 10-second countdown and sometimes what's known as an LAD or LAD patch. This element is used by the processing lab to test the print's color grading. But the oddest component here is the occasional insertion of a brief image showing a human face. Most of the time the picture is that of a woman, and it's often just a single frame, so if you blink, you'll miss her. The identities of these women, sometimes nicknamed lad ladies, leader ladies, or even China girls, are almost entirely unknown, and it's believed that they were usually workers at the film labs themselves. Only over the past decade have these images been studied, documented, and even exhibited by groups like the Harvard Film Archive and the Chicago Film Society. But according to rumors passed down from film lab personnel over the decades, there is one so-called leader lady with an extremely dark history, a history which some say infected the very strip of film which bears her image. In some circles, the woman has picked up the nickname Lily, but, as in nearly all of these cases, her true name is unknown. Most of these stories date back to 1972 and describe Lily as a clerk at a Utah film lab where hundreds of educational and industrial films were processed. Needing a subject for color testing, a technician at this lab tried to convince Lily to pose for him. He likely had ulterior motives, as he'd told her on several occasions he was an aspiring magazine photographer, and once asked her if she would pose for a photo shoot at his apartment. She declined, but the technician persisted, to the point where Lily's other co-workers began to express concern about the man's growing obsession with photographing her. One day, Lily failed to show up for work without notifying anyone of her absence. Her friends and family hadn't seen her for several days, and she didn't answer when they stopped by her apartment. The man who photographed Lily was also missing, and calls from his own supervisor went unanswered. The police were notified, a missing person report was filed, and a search for Lily and the primary suspect began. A visit to Lily's apartment revealed no clues to her whereabouts and nothing to connect her with the co-worker. Police also obtained a warrant to enter the suspect's home. He wasn't there, but what they found was more than enough to incriminate him. The technician had a large collection of photographs, almost all of them depicting young women. Some had clearly modeled for him, but others appeared to be uncomfortable in front of the camera. A deeper search uncovered a hidden lockbox, which contained several slides, and those pictures were far more disturbing. Police attempted to trace the identities of the other women and matched 3 of them to photos of individuals reported missing in Utah, Colorado, and Kansas. No bodies were ever found, and the suspect remains at large. The case has been closed since 1979, but there was a request for it to be reopened in 2014, allegedly due to a strange anomaly found in a print of the vintage film which bears Lily's image. This print differs from the other copies, and the collector who discovered it claims the difference is not a defect, but a message from beyond the grave. Not only does the message contain what appears to be longitude and latitude coordinates, but Lily's face is disturbingly altered. So far, authorities have declined to reopen the case, claiming that the collector deliberately tampered with the image. Perhaps they're right, but one curious piece of information remains: the map coordinates, which point to a remote location in the desert. The location is at the end of a rural road which can only be accessed from Interstate 70, which itself connects all 3 states where the leader ladies, including Lily, were reported missing. If anyone has ventured down that road since those coordinates were revealed, they haven't reported back.